Hello, my name is Mike Myler, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Veranthea Codex, my campaign setting player toolbox GM resource for the Pathfinder RPG. Here's the cover. It is just as awesome and radical as everything inside of it. From goblins on jet planes to dinosaur riding jungle dwarves to the Wuxia campaign setting to the Bezdekor flying around on their gas jetpacks, and of course Boris of Trinestra. So first of all, this is a huge book, and to facilitate that, you'll notice on the sides here that each of the page borders has different colors. So I know that when I pop open to this gold one, we're going to be in Grathadness, and when we go to this red one, we are in Veranthea, and when we go to this gray one, we are in Traktori. And if I'm a player just looking for really awesome stuff to do, this white one in the middle has you covered. And then in the back, it's all different because we'll get there. All the NPCs are from different places. The first chapter covers what the Veranthea Codex is. It's actually an in-game item and gives a brief overview of the gods. And if you're interested, there is a 100-page book called The Radical Pantheon that's come out that gives way more details on the gods. And then the second chapter covers Grathadness, a steampunk renaissance that runs the gamut of the sort of like standard fantasy that you'd expect, with a couple of weird differences that are very, very, very Veranthea. There's the Bezdekor I was mentioning earlier. And Brett. God, I love Brett. And of course, Boris and his bunny familiar, Dremel. Then the second continent in Chapter 3 is Veranthea, which is a very high fantasy Wuxia continent. Everyone on there has either immunity or resistance to magic, or a couple of spell-like abilities, or can channel magic. And there are the individuals that are immune to magic, it's like a golem, are also immortal. And these are the three that have the largest influence on that part of the setting. And then, of course, there are clans that rule over Veranthea. And here are all their clan leaders, drawn beautifully by Nathaniel Batchelor. And if you haven't noticed yet, there is a ridiculous art schedule in this book. We strive to make it as visually illustrative as possible, and we more than met that task. The fourth chapter is Traktori, which is a monstrous diesel punk continent. That pretty much covers it right there. This is a little bit more on the apocalyptic side in the Durkhan Badlands, but all of Traktori is choked with smog and has been polluted and is ruled over by monsters that have the kind folk sort of as slaves. It's one of Traktori's most popular pilots, Spoon Jaws. There is a bastion of kind folk still free in Traktori that live off the mainland in Omanara, but it's not an easy life. And there's a mini adventure in here too. This is what happens. The players end up piloting this guy, defending the city of Monio from the Destructinator, a goblin-designed monster truck mecha. And there is a small part on the Forever Dark, because each of those three continents is separated by oceans that nobody can travel over, because the god of the sea, also the god of vengeance, is still quite angry at mortals for something they did in the distant past. So they are all separated, but you can get to them via the Forever Dark, a very large subterranean network of caves and strange passages that move all of their own accord. It's filled with psychic horrors and monsters and all kinds of nasties. And then we get to the player chapter, which has something like 24 class options, a whole bunch of different races, new vehicles, large racial entries for the Dragoni and the Sun Griffins, which are beautifully illustrated by world-class artist Larry Dixon, and the Conduit class, which are individuals who are specialized in shaping magic, like the able to absorb it and turn it into blasts or movement or a variety of different effects. There's a lot of different class options, like I mentioned. This is my favorite. It's the merchant here. So the god of capitalism in this world, Madalondo, everyone thinks he's a good guy, when really, of course, he's not. He is a wholly evil individual, and these are his like holy knights. So the first 10 levels, you're a paladin, and people have to like pay for healing, including you. Like if you try to heal yourself, it costs gold. And then when you hit 11th level, you find out like what Madalondo is really about, and have to either renounce your faith or become an anti-paladin, with of course quirks. After the classes stuff, we get to the real meat of it for GMs. You can see it's where my bookmark is. Every class that's come out from after the core book to Ultimate Combat, we have 10 different NPCs in here of varying levels. So if you're looking for alchemists, boom, I got a bunch of alchemists. If you are, and they all have backstories too. If you are looking for cavalier or samurai, I got you covered. If you're looking for some gunslingers, boom, we got your gunslingers. We got your inquisitors. We got your magi. We got your ninjas. We got your oracles. We got your witches. We got them all. Summoners and their eidolons. And it's we wanted to make something that was comparable to the NPC Codex and filled in the gaps left by that wonderful book. And there are a couple of conduits in here too. And on top of that, there are, like I mentioned, all those summoner eidolons and encounter tables for each one of the continents and their varied regions, as well as the Forever Darks. And finally, a bunch of really excellent templates. So that's the book. It's huge. It's like almost 400 pages, and I have to say that we definitely made the best book we possibly could, and you should check it out. There are 4 free preview PDFs you can grab at VerantheaCodex.com, and if you go and look at this on RPGNow.com, there's a 32-page preview for the book. Thanks for watching, and good gaming. Roll 20s.